Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining our today's event. Um, Today we have a really hot and interesting discussion. But before we start our PMP talks, I would like to introduce our today's experts. So please meet Jan Willem Tromp, a Dutch AI researcher with 25 years of experience in project and resource management, MPM and business consultant, a co-founder of Epic Flow and Glow Management, and speaker and lecturer. Hello, Jan Willem.
Hi, good afternoon.
Uh, yeah, hi. And now please meet his colleague, Dr. Albert Ponsteen, a researcher and PhD in project management, a talk adherent and Golden Implementation Group partner, a co-creator of the unique Epic Flows methodology and a supervisor of Epic Flow R&D team. Hello, Albert.
Hi, good day. Welcome,
Uh,
everybody.
And before we start, as always, I would like to pay attention to our QA session in the end. Our speakers will answer all your questions with great pleasure. So please feel free and write your questions in comments in LinkedIn. Uh, I give the floor to our experts. Let's start.
Good, thank you, Anastasia. Thank you very much. It's a good day because everybody is in a different time zone. So, Albert, welcome to have you here, my friend. We know each other already for 20 years, but how did you start with artificial intelligence? I don't think it was 20 years ago already.
No. It emerged during my PhD,
Okay.
which I finalized last year, but it took me 10 years. So 10 years ago, there was hardly any AI involved in project management. So we did everything with algorithms, really everything. And still of today, we do a lot with algorithms. But then I think in 2019, we get an invitation from a defense-related company to present our product. We had to fill in such a request for information. And one of the questions was, if we were using AI in our project management solution to do resource allocation based on AI, because they were really into resource allocation. And we didn't have it. And but we really want to have that customer, of course. Now you can do two things: fake it or be honest about it. So we were very honest about it. We said, okay, we can comply with all your requirements, but we don't have it. And at that time, we met because of our connections with university. We met Paul Bedreau. By the way, he wrote several books which I want to share. Those are books of Paul. I really recommend you to read it if you're interested in this topic. And we approached him. He said, "Yeah, we don't have what they ask, but are there then competitors of us who have it?" In 2019, he said, to my knowledge, which is quite extensive because he's a professor in this in this subject. He said there are no companies who apply it to resource management and multi-project management. There are some initiatives going to check specifications of new functionality, but not in the way in resource management. So we went there and we presented our software, and then we came to that item, and then we were quiet. We said, yeah, we don't have this. It's very interesting, and Paul Bedreau, we asked him to do an assessment on our software, and he said, yeah, but you have a lot already about what we currently already call predictive analytics. And your data is so well structured that for you, the step to go to AI and machine learning, more machine learning and predictive analytics is quite small. You already have 80%. So we told that to that audience, and IBM was, by the way, the company who advised that now customer of us. And they said, yeah, that's not 80%. You are already more than 90% there. Your data is so structured, and this is where it really started.
Okay. Do you remember, Albert, what was the position of PMI at that time?
Oh yeah, PMI totally ignored AI at that time. Paul Bedreau was really not amused with PMI at that time, because he was fighting against it, that it should have a main chapter in project management.
Okay.
But they refused at that time. By the way, a nice thing, Jan Willem, I don't know if you have seen it on LinkedIn. At the latest PMI Congress, Paul was one of the keynote speakers there.
Times are changing.
Things are changing, yeah. Slowly at PMI, but they are changing. So that's why it's great to have this topic now.
Okay. Yeah. Hey Albert, what was your first step in AI? Which subject? Because you have a lot of subjects which you can use AI for.
The first subject was, you see here, the self-driving project is one of the titles.
Yeah.
So we always have to advise our customers, and we want them to be independent of us as much as possible. So also our implementations should be self-driving, not to rely on a consultant to tell how late it is. Now you can take a look at your watch yourself. And so this was where we started, and I can show something.
Yeah, please do.
About it. So to make this session a bit more interactive and show also how we apply it, I have to give a warning. A lot of what you see is still based on algorithms, but you see already the first glimpse of AI, because this is where we heavily invest in. And this is also what I want to discuss today. Where can we continue on with AI in our system? The first thing is about, if you look at AI, the most of it, what we do is predictive analytics. And so actually you are predicting the future based on historical data and statistical algorithms and machine learning.
Yeah.
That's actually what you do with predictive analytics. And for us, a lot of the statistical algorithms are currently also just algorithms, logical algorithms. But you see more and more statistics coming in, and I hope to show also some evidence of that already. Let's go to the live system. I like that always much more. That's also much more risky during a live webinar, of course.
Yeah.
No, so here you see it real life. For example, here, this is the historical data. This has nothing to do with AI. But in one sense, but in the other sense, it's the basics of it. Here you see our capacity. Here below, you see the output. Output means you work 40 hours a week. I give you 4 tasks. You only think of, you marked 2 as completed. So 20 hours. So at the end of the week, you only delivered half of where your accounted capacity was. What we expected. And this has nothing to do with spent hours, because you could spend, and this is another parameter, you could spend dash line much more hours on to create this expected output. We also have colors here. You will see that later on also. Red means it's very urgent tasks that were, and yellow requires management attention, etc. You will see in a moment. So this is the history. Now, in order to do your prediction, you don't do it out of the blue. You still have your plans in place. I think also in that area, many things will change because we have already a module library that we can easily set up those plans, but you could also in a later stages build those plans based on your specifications and do your estimations based on specification. I think this is also in one of the books of Paul. This is also one of the subjects.
Okay.
To do estimations already based on your specifications. In our system, it's not so very important if the specifications are very detailed, yes or no, because we learn from the historical graph. We learn anyway. The system is self-learning. Now, so if you look in a project, this is just standard. You have bars and relations between bars, etc. And I will come to the AI component in a minute. You have the colors here. Red is urgent. You are too late. Management this requires management attention. Green is in good shape, and blue you have too much time buffer. Now, this is one aspect. Now I drag up the other aspect. This is our future load expectation. So based on the milestones and all the critical paths and all the estimations, etc., we can predict the load. Above the zero line, you are overloaded. Below, you are underloaded. And we can also predict in one project, we can calculate. This is not a prediction. This is just a calculation. We can calculate how feasible the time between those two milestones is. If I apply it, this is all recalculated. This is what we could already do in 2019.
Okay.
This is algorithms, and let's put it back there. But I could also predict where those milestones are, because you saw here you have overloaded one group here. So this has effect on all those milestones here because they are fighting for the same resources.
How can you see that it's overloaded?
Here I can just easily see I have it's not you see here I have a capacity of 2.5. I have a load of 3.4. So I'm overloaded here. I can do a load analysis, and I can already see this project is really eating a lot of my capacity of this resource group.
So above zero is overload, correct?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Continue.
So, and it's not a coincidence, by the way, that this is here on top, because I can do a bottleneck analysis and show, give me the group that has the highest overload this coming quarter. So it's already ranked. This is where we are good in. Now, based on this, I can do a prediction here, and I can predict where the due dates are. Here you see the difference. This is the planned due date. This is the expected date. You see everywhere the difference. You can also see it for each milestone. You can see that. Now, here in this area, I expect to see a lot of AI. I think we will come back later to that. It depends on who is the best person to do the job. If I saw your agenda, we will come to that. And partly we are using already the predictive analytics, so you can look already in history what the performance is. You can also calculate the expected performance. You know the load here. So this is really a main area where we already applied some AI in or machine learning in, and we will do more the coming year.
So basically, you predict the due dates, the actual due dates.
Yes. Yeah. You will see more of that later. You asked me some other things, huh?
Yeah.
The self-driving project. Another thing that we did. Let's switch this off. And people now have to look in the system to see if they are overloaded, which task has the highest priority. So we implemented here a virtual assistant. And this virtual assistant is telling, good day, there are some things you have to take a look at. Some people are doing overtime in some groups. Okay, got it. I don't want to look at it now. And here you have to look at, you have groups which are less productive than you expected them to be. So let's look at this group here. It's actually similar to the information that I just showed you here in this graph, but now it is, the virtual assistant is pointing to you, now you have to look.
Okay.
Today, this is a problem. So
basically, you navigate to the things that we think are important for the manager.
Yeah, here, this is your capacity, this is your output. Yeah, you still spend close to your capacity line, which is not strange because at the end of the month, everybody has his paycheck. But your output is less than we expected.
But then I have a question, Albert. Do you do this on individual level or on group level?
We do this on group level, although of course in the system we have the information on personal level somewhere hidden in the and this is also because if I would judge you personally based on your output, which task would you take?
The easy ones.
The easy ones which are less risky.
Yeah.
I had a neighbor. He's a friend of mine. He's not my neighbor anymore. He's a plumber, and he is a very good one. So he will go to the churches and do this craftsmanship.
Yeah.
He had a very low output.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But the one who are doing it per square meter, they had a very high output. So,
basically, what you say, an individual output is not important, but the group output is.
Yes, because if he works together with the team, they could do the square meters. He could do the difficult stuff.
Yeah.
And together they were form a good team. And so it's also if you start with AI, you can tell a lot about what's going on, but there are also some ethics in place. And
okay. Yeah.
This is also, if you read those books, it is an important chapter to take into account. Yeah.
I remember that Paul Boudreau wrote a book about it.
Only about ethics.
Yeah. Okay, continue, Albert, please.
Okay. It are just some example. Oh, this is a nice one because the other one were on regarding the I'm logged in as Cas. Cas is a project manager in this system. That was about the groups he is using, and or it tells something about the projects he's manager of. But this is something about himself. Please make sure you have only one task in progress. The other assignments should be finished or put on hold. This is about something we fight against, which is multitasking. We have critical chain people also in the audience, and we have had a theory of constraints people. They know multitasking is one of the could be very bad. So go to your personal task list, it says, so you don't have to look through the system anymore. It guides you. This is the task list of it's my own task list. And I see I have here 3 tasks in progress. So it's warning, is that good? And it also says, okay, or put on hold here, or give a reason. Why did you already start with the project engineering here? This is the lowest one. I started to get things going. I don't know if it's a good reason, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Things going. So it also helps you then to address it. I will come to this point later, why this is so important.
Okay.
That we focus on your own behavior. Because if you would fully work on project with the highest priority, the red one, then then you will be out of fire. Yeah. If he is working on the lowest priority or a lower priority task, you will consume buffer somewhere of a higher priority, which is actually which is stagnating the flow. Speaking about that, the following tasks are ready to start. Ready to start means all the predecessors are done, but they didn't have any progress. These are not only my tasks; these are the tasks I'm responsible for. By coincidence, the engineering layout, the first task is the one I'm also working on myself, and so this is something to take into account. And without this virtual assistant, I don't know, Jan Willem, how I would get this information.
Yeah. So it's pure navigation to the things that are important.
Yeah.
Good.
Now, okay. Here is some project hygiene. No baseline values are set for those projects, etc.
But Albert, those signals,
Yeah.
are they different for other roles? Because you have project managers, you have resource managers.
Yeah, they are different for all the roles.
Okay.
And the nice thing is, I use them now here as signals.
Yeah.
But we also have an entire wiki page. So if people don't understand something, we always tell, look at the wiki page there and there. So, for example, you ask me questions about this graph with this zero line,
Yeah.
here. So, but you could also ask it here. What does the zero line in the graph mean? By the way, I could also just talk to it, the system. And then it looks now, we call this LLM, the large language model. It looks now in our wiki page, because we directed it to look in our wiki page. And it gives, it explains here, it explains what I just explained to you.
Okay.
Based on this, and also with a reference to it, etc. So it's also helpful in that area.
Hey, but a question, Albert. What about internal procedures from companies? Can they also use this in the virtual assistant?
Yeah, this is nice, because I now are looking in our wiki page.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I can hook up also other pages, like for a customer who has an internal procedure that he says, what about multitasking? If you do it with 3 tasks, it's okay, but 4, it's not okay, etc. They're procedures. We can direct the LLM to their internal sites. So it will be trained based on their data and their procedures, because it's one package, Epic Flow, but everybody can use it differently, of course.
Okay, good. Did you finish the signal subject, Albert?
There is much more to tell. One nice thing.
Okay.
Can I take a day off?
Oh yeah, important.
I take a day off. This is not an easy question to answer, by the way. So it tells now, we are. By the way, this is a system we created some time ago, and we are updating it. So it's living in a bit older date. Forgive me, but it's saying now, coming 2 days, maybe, but here you have a high loaded task. It should be really finished there, and you will see here with red you cannot take off, and of course further in the future with caution, and there it's green, it's acceptable, and of course more in the future you can take longer periods off. This is also how it goes typically in an organization. If you want to have a day off, well, you can find a day off, but for longer periods of time you have to look longer in the future.
Okay.
Huh?
Yeah.
I think this is enough.
Yeah, this is enough. We already raised the subject ethics. Do you want to add something to it?
No, I think we covered it, that you have to be careful. You see how powerful it is. And you have to be careful what you implement and what you display.
Yeah, clear. So especially don't focus on individuals, but focus on the group. That's your
Yes.
recommendation.
Yeah.
And that okay. Then I have a totally other subject. Can you also optimize your entire portfolio?
Yes. Therefore, I go to an example of a customer of us where we did a case study for. We did this case study last year. It is true data. Yeah, it's anonymized, but I didn't change a thing. It's
no demo data.
It's not demo data.
Okay, yeah.
It was their real data at that time. And if we looked in those projects, it are all IT projects. And if we look in their pipeline, you see a lot of red projects, and let me see here. There was no network. It was actually what we call crap data. Yeah, but at least I know how many hours were estimated, how accurate it is. We had our doubts, and we know which type of resource should do the task. And I have some milestones here when it should be delivered. And another aspect is a lot of projects are depending on each other. So this milestone is a clone of project 24. So I can only continue if project 24 has delivered me something. So it's quite complex. Yeah. And we looked at it, and we said, yeah, but then we looked, of course, at the future load again. I will zoom in a bit. Then you see again the constraint is on top. Has nothing to do with your question yet. Yeah? But we saw that they had a huge overload. Again, about 16 FTE full-time equivalent in this period of time. So you know those due dates will not be met. And let's put this aside. Let's look at the prediction again. And you see, I will enlarge the time scale a bit. You will see that some projects are really too late. So we asked them, if you have a resource constraint, you have to prioritize your projects. So we asked them to put the business value here.
Okay.
Higher the business value, the most important the project is, of course. And they said, okay, everything above project 400 that are category 1 and 2 projects, they are really important for us. Please optimize it for us. Okay. First of all, when we presented this, we got a complaint. I know PricewaterhouseCoopers was there. They were very, very talented consultants. They said, this is great what you show, but we cannot go here to the management with this because it is too complex. It's too much data. And this is one of the problems that we have. Also, one of the reasons why we have this assistant to overcome information overload. So then we created the dashboard. Not this dashboard. This is also interesting, but I don't want to go in that one. Sorry. So tell me the due date performance. By the way, of my projects with a priority higher or a business value higher than 401. I will also do it for this one. Due date 401. My 1 and 2. So you see, I have a 31% due date performance. But you know, this figure does not tell everything. In red, they are really too late, more than 30 days too late. So I also counted the days in total that we are too late and the days we are too early. Now, based on this, we want to optimize it. Back to your question.
Yeah.
So we go back to the portfolio here, and we say, please, dear system, optimize my portfolio in such way that the highest priority projects with the highest business value, will be delivered first, and you can delay one of those other projects. Now there we have what-if analysis for, and we can do many what-if analysis. I just load now one of the results, how to do it, and yeah, always exciting. You will see here now the first one. First of all, you see everything is in green now, so they have much more chance to meet the due date. And you will see here at the bottom that projects are delayed.
Yeah.
And now I can simulate it and look at the dashboard again, but I will compare it with the original estimated or original planned due date, the baseline due date. So although I put this one later on, I moved this to the end because it was less important, because I didn't have the capacity. I still want to know, what is now your prediction? How did you optimize now this portfolio? I can talk hours about it. I only show the end result, but it is really interesting how to do it. So you see now, if it's just an algorithm with supported by predictive analytics that we run, you see we have now an 85% delivery performance, and we are only 33 days too late on our highest priority projects. Of course, if I look at the total portfolio here, I have a 62% chance, but this is still 2 times higher than I had before. Yeah. So it allows you to optimize your portfolio.
But you did this, if I'm correct, you did this only on business value.
Yes.
Yeah. Can you optimize portfolio also on other, let's say, characteristics, Albert?
Yeah, what we wanted, yes, but this is a topic for next year.
Yeah.
We call it optimize based on benefit realization.
Okay.
And the first thing we want to do is optimize it based on profit.
Yeah.
How much profit is each milestone or project generating? Because this is quite a simple parameter to compare between all projects, with all respect, because it's still a mighty job. So, but other things here, we can add to this project. We can also add other kinds of benefits here that we want to optimize on.
So that's for next year, basically.
Yeah, and they call this benefit buckets, which could be safety or usability or environmental aspects, etc. And that could all be criteria that you have to take into account to optimize this portfolio. And this is where machine learning comes really good in place.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's a multi-criteria decision.
Okay. Yeah. It's too complex for a human brain.
Yeah, but it's also very complex for algorithms to program.
Yeah. Oh, okay. You mean the classical?
The classical algorithms. Yeah.
I understand. Yeah. Hey, but Albert, regarding time, because we have 15 minutes left, I was wondering, this example you showed that there were bottlenecks, but bottlenecks is on a resource group. But is it also possible to look outside of the group? Maybe people have experience or competences or etc.
Yeah, and yeah.
With AI, AI can help companies with that question.
Yes. Okay, first we had already using algorithms, we could compare resource groups. So many times people from assembly could help construction, and in total they could do the job.
Okay.
But this is too complex to look at, and I can also look on personal level here. But we got remarks, yeah, that's all nice that you have this data. This is too much. This is really too much to see. So let's go back to this to my task list. I have 3 tasks here, which I do in parallel. And the highest one is only 8 hours remaining, so that doesn't make too much sense. This one I actually should put back into the. I should not work on at all. Yeah, I should just put it not in progress anymore.
Yeah.
Go back to your list. You are not there. You should not work on it. And this one here, I'm assigned to, and we have here a nice button. This is the resource allocator advisor, and let's see if we can find another user. By the way, this task here is asking for mechanics and 3D cut.
Competence, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Continue.
So what we have here, let me show this. I find this view all required. This looks a bit nice. What we see here, I'm Cas, and I did not have the right mechanic skill. I had 3D cut skill, and this is based on. This is just an algorithm which is matching, and it's finding, hey, this is somebody. I'm from production team 2. You could also use Ethan de Vries, production team, still from your same team, but your question was different.
Yeah.
Could I also use somebody else? Now, there are also others. So Eileen really matches all the requirements. But this is still based on algorithms. And by the way, the battery sign is showing that she has capacity.
The green battery.
The green battery. So that's a nice way to show you can use her battery competence can match. But what you see here also is our the suggestion by Epica, our assistant. Based on previous task, the resource did. We use here NLP, natural language processing, to see if another resource could be a good match. So actually, Cas is not the right match according to the algorithm, according to the Epica, to the AI system.
Yeah.
40%. You get an adjustment of 40%. If you look at Eileen, she's not in that team, but she could perfectly do that job. 81% match.
Okay, so this is a match not on competences.
This is no. We look at historical data. Yeah. I must say, I think this could be different for different companies. So, but we can train the algorithm to optimize.
So it can also be clients, also known clients, that kind of stuff. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this is interesting.
And by the way, I still looked here in the group engineering, but I can look also outside the group, and you can see, hi, Iris. She's not working in engineering at all. I don't know where she's working. Construction, but she has those skills, and she has not so based on previous experience. It's not a good match. But anyway, you can see also other people, and those don't have the skill. So it's all ranked.
So basically, AI can help you to get rid of your bottlenecks in one group.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Excellent.
This can also help you again in those predictive analytics for estimating the due date. That you say, I know those resources on that job could be the best one.
Yeah.
And then you can also have a more accurate estimation how long this resource will do over a certain job.
Yeah. No, that's clear. Regarding time, Albert, we have 10 minutes left.
Because I totally lost the agenda that you had.
No, that's not a problem. Because you showed us this model in your demo, that the optimization of the portfolio.
Yeah.
But what you did not add any resource, you just optimized the planning. But maybe a client is not satisfied with that. Do you think that AI has possibilities to even go a step further, that they give advices, that kind of stuff, to let's call it the portfolio manager?
Yes, and we currently do this in what-if analysis, that we
Okay.
say, hey, you can use, for example, this example, by the way, by coincidence, a good example. You could use people from assembly, which is underloaded, from time to time in construction.
Yeah.
And you don't need all, you only need one from time to time to use, and then you can solve your constraint. And then again, you can compare it here, run the result, and see if you made it better. And this is what we can do with those what-if analysis. But it requires manual interpretation.
Okay.
What is now your true constraint, and who is now really loaded? Because if you look in a company, everybody is loaded.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think, Jan Willem, I don't know if you want to share it also today. You made something not in Epic Flow yet, but in our serious game, which we also use for development.
Yeah.
To show the effect of overloaded resources.
Yeah.
Because this
I can show
will
that, Albert.
Yeah.
I can show that. Basically, this is the research lab, what I now go.
We will put your screen on then. Let me give it 1 second.
Yeah.
Because those overloads that you see here, they will cause a delay in one or multiple groups. You are live with your screen now.
Am I live? Okay. Just as an explanation, here on the right-hand side, you see the structure of projects with tasks, their dependencies, etc. And I'm now going to show you something, which is we run the simulation. And first, it was the original situation over here that was on the left-hand side. And now I'm going to animate, and I hope you like it.
And the balls are the resource groups, eh?
The big balls with a letter are resource groups, and the small balls that run over the line are work packages. And what you basically can see is that it's detecting a possible bottleneck. And as long as it is yellow and green, it's fine. Those resource groups have no problems. But I will go it a little bit faster now. You see, this is already becoming orange, and now it becomes red. So
And that
basically,
means,
sorry, go ahead.
And that bubble means?
The bubble is, this bubble tells you this is the overloaded resource group, which is creating waiting times because it's overloaded. And the size of the bubble and the color will tell you how serious it is. Now, if you compare this simulation, if I go to the dashboard, it's 44 projects delivered, 13 were delayed, etc. But now I'm going to do, this is what we think in our lab for next year.
I have one question, Jan Willem.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because in the project, you saw relations between tasks, functional relations. Here I see also relations. How did you build that relations?
Oh yeah, that relation, that is the technique what we call from process mining, is that you know a job goes from one resource group to another resource group. Basically, I'm doing, let's say, some cutting, and the next job is welding.
Yeah.
So this is what we make visualize over here by a line, where you see
the system creates those lines themselves.
What we did is that we can use AI to, let's say, to come with proposals to solve this bottleneck. And here, this one example is that those guys, the light blue ones, were able to help the indigo ones, the dark blue ones, and then you see a totally different result.
So you trained people to help. What I showed in my example.
Yeah.
What you and then you show the effect.
Outside of the group. And with AI, you can look in your organization, what are the possibilities to improve the situation?
Yeah.
And this is just a visualization, Albert. But you see, everything remains green. So all projects flow as you would like to have it. And we can use this information because we can calculate automatically every night several, scenarios. But AI is helping us in finding the bottleneck and finding a solution. That's basically the idea, Albert.
So instead of bluntly hiring, you say train.
In this case, the advice should be training, and then you can compare, like you did in your example, 53 projects. Here, look at the difference.
Yeah.
Just because I trained a guy and 0 projects are in red. Now, the idea is AI can help us in doing this automatically overnight, and then the portfolio manager gets an advice the next day. Good. Is this enough, Albert, for this subject?
Yeah.
You can take back the screen, Albert.
Yes, but I think we are going to the
questions
now. Yeah, we had more topics on our agenda, Jan Willem, but I think I want to, if we can go to the questions, that would be nice.
Okay. First of all, Anastasia. Here you can see the questions. Is this historical data based on tasks completed with competences required?
Yeah, no, you cannot tell that because just anyone could do that task, but we could tell if that one had the expected competences. Yes.
Oh, okay, upfront. Yeah.
So, no. Yeah. No, you just have a task. But in the historical data, if I see the task historically, the task is already done. We know internally which competences were involved, which competence the people had who produced the task. So
and that you can use that with your AI model to improve.
Not so advanced, not yet, but this is the idea. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Thank you. Next question, Anastasia. Despite of AI, do you use some optimization engine? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. That is based on algorithms.
Yeah. So you use both?
We use both. Yeah. Yeah.
Good. Thank you.
And I still think both are needed. Things, in some cases, algorithms are better. In other cases, AI is better.
The difference is, Albert, if you use algorithms, you can explain what happened. And if you use AI, it's a little bit difficult how the machine learning...
and that also, I don't know if there are software developers also here, that also refers to testing the system. So that's really a challenge. How do we test this system? And we will send this now first out as a beta version.
Yeah.
Because we also have to learn, and the whole community has to learn. So this will take time. At the Open University, the university I just graduated on, they have now a professor in testing, which is really focused on AI testing.
Okay, cool.
Because that's a whole different ballgame.
Basically, the whole challenge with AI, it does not have a finish line.
No.
Okay, next question, Anastasia, please. Are you able to model an efficient frontier for a portfolio? Not sure that I understand what he means. This person means with frontier.
Yeah, in this sentence also I had.
Let's take another question.
Yeah.
What are the prerequisites for the effective use of AI?
Oh yeah.
Go ahead.
This is actually where I started with. So anyone out there, who has structured data, then you can apply AI. And we don't have, even if you don't have a huge amount of history, you can already start with it. First, put the structure there. That history will come anyway.
Isn't it different that you should say, if you have structured data, you have a big advantage?
Yeah.
Because then you need less data.
Yes. Yeah.
Because AI is also possible to work with unstructured data, but then you need a lot of data, I think.
Exactly. Thank you, Jan Willem. You were right. You were right about that.
Yeah, you mentioned Paul Boudreau's. He was enthusiastic because we already had that structured data. I can remember that.
Yes.
Yeah. Good. Next question.
Data does not have to be precise.
No,
you don't need precise estimates.
Okay. What do you think about using ChatGPT in project and resource management?
Good question. I come to ethics and privacy, and I come to that also. Actually, yesterday I was already using it with a test specification I got from one of our employees, and I put it through ChatGPT. Can you build up more test cases there? It could. And it was Victoria who really said, you pointed out some cases I didn't thought about. So there, but now in project and resource management, yes, I think also, but the thing about data privacy is you are going to send your data outside your walls, outside your control. And we have also companies in the defense industry, they only want to have it on premises. So we now build a model that our software could be in the cloud, their data could be on premises. We could still apply AI based on their data, but nothing of that data goes outside their premises.
It's really important. The answer is yes, but the question is, should you do it?
Should you do it? Yeah, and we are already experimenting with it. That we can set the gate open to a wider knowledge base than only our own knowledge base. But this is still something. It's you have to be careful about it. So the answer is sure yes. Yeah.
Okay. Good. Thank you. Next one. I see a lot of questions popping up. Let's wait for other stuff. Do project, resource, and portfolio managers require extra skills to work with AI? Interesting question there, Albert. So, what are they?
You can answer that one, I think. Yeah.
I think they need less skills. No.
If you are a self-driving project management system.
I always tell the story, Albert, that in this case, AI helps you to navigate that data, huge amount of data. It informs you where you have to concentrate, focus on, which allows you to do your job better. And I give you one example. There was a resource manager for 200 people. He said, now with your system, I don't have enough work anymore. I said, no. Now you have time to call your resources, to call your people, and you are focused. This one is overloaded, that one not. How they are feeling, how it's going on. So through this, AI helps you to focus. This is basically the idea. So it's not that you require extra skills, but your skills are used in a different way.
Yeah, instead of different is the right answer here. Indeed. Yeah.
And maybe AI can create your project reports, so you don't have to do that anymore.
This is also already something we will release in the next quarter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Automatic reporting. Thank you. Next question, please. Are there any limitations of applying AI for multi-project and resource management? Can it be that you use AI but don't get expected results? I think you already answered this question, but maybe we should explain what makes multi-project environments more complicated, Albert.
that is uncertainty and the relation of projects that are not functional relations, but relations because they require the same resources. That makes it very, very complex. And that you don't get the expected results. Yes, I think sure, because I did on my research, I looked at why are people deviating from the priority list. This is also why you see those signals in our system. And many times in the beginning that was for bad reasons. Now, we can get rid of those bad reasons using the virtual assistant. But in 20% of the time, the answer was they were deviating for a good reason that we could not manage away. And those reasons were very diverse.
Okay.
So this is if you have this problem, then it's our image goes down the drain, etc.
Yeah.
And there are loads of things because people have. This is the PhD talking. People have local knowledge, and local knowledge is very hard to embed in a system, and it could work counterproductive because you are taking away all the freedom of people because you think that the system has all the answers. No, that's not true. The system does not have local knowledge. In 20% of the cases, I still expect that the people have a better answer.
Okay, that's why you mentioned. Your title of your PhD thesis was human intelligence.
Human intelligence, yeah, combined with at that time scheduling heuristics, but in a few years' time it should be based on AI.
Okay. Hey, Albert, I have a message for the audience. We get a lot of questions and we are not able to answer them. So we have a solution for that. There's a link on LinkedIn where you can click on, then ask your questions, and Albert or I will answer those questions. So then your questions do not, fade away. And this, I think it's open for half an hour. But we have 2 questions left. I hope I did it right, but Anastasia will tell me if not.
For me, it's a surprise. I don't see the questions up front.
I see them. What is your forecast for AI applications in multi-project management? Now, Albert.
It will become more advanced. It will be really going to this self-driving project. I think first already the intake. I think that's a very important one. If you write specifications, it helps you to write specifications. There are already AI tools for that, but that's a bit in isolation. But it should go further. What's then my project plan? Yeah. How should I plan it? How much money can I earn with it? So it will be all integrated. It are now a bit islands, and I think it will all be integrated. What do you think, Willem?
Yeah. It's multi-project means that people work on more than one project at the same time, and I think AI can help that because if you look at isolation to one project, it will not help you. No. I see some great challenges, but also great features popping up.
And I never expected that this virtual assistant could help us so much.
Yeah.
Because our system became, you are adding more and more features, and it drives you to focus on what is now important.
So AI helps us to focus. Great title of your new book, Albert.
Yeah.
Okay, last question, and then we have to finish. Don't forget, we have a link on LinkedIn for questions, but last questions. Okay, at which part of the flow AI is being used?
I hope I showed many aspects. I assume you mentioned the workflow with that. It is already in this resource allocation advisor. What's the best resource to put on a job? It is for the project manager to show how are my projects doing. For the resource manager, who is overloaded, which groups are underperforming, how are my groups performing. It's for the portfolio manager, how's my whole portfolio doing. So in in every part there.
Okay, good. We have to finish, Albert. Thank
Yeah.
you very much for your for the discussion. And as promised, if people want to ask questions and we didn't have time for it, go to LinkedIn, click on the link, and there you can put in your
Yeah,
question.
and if you are interested for your company, just ask for a demo, and then we can go really into your subject, because
Yeah.
there is much more to tell.
Okay, next year we will continue our webinars and with two professors and one other very interesting person in this area. So then we are going to continue with external people. Albert, final word for you.
No, I thank the audience for
Thank
showing
you very
up.
much.
Thank
for
you very
listening.
much, and the great questions.
Good.
Thank you. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.